India Economic Conclave. Let's cut across to our MD and CEO of the Times Network addressing the media.
The last few months have seen major global events, tariff wars between the US and China, unexpected surge in crude prices. On the monetary front, there is the specter of the US Fed raising interest rates backed by strong domestic recovery there, triggering flight of capital from emerging markets including India. Though India is not fully insulated from such global factors anymore, strong domestic demand and the government's resolve on reforms ensured that we stayed the course. Despite the headwinds, our economy managed to grow at about 7% in the September quarter, ahead of China's 6.5% in the same period. On the domestic front, we have had a normal monsoon and the economy is showing signs of recovery post the slowdown after demonetization and GST launch in FY17 and 18. Domestic investment driven by surging SIP enrollment is at an all-time high, powering Indian stock markets. In our own business of media, particularly advertising expenditure, which is an important lead indicator of business, there has been a clear rise in consumption across the board. This means more companies are increasing their business activity, indicating better quarters to come. There is a spate of infrastructure projects like the Mumbai Metro and other highway networks and many other projects which are in full swing. India has made commendable progress in ease of doing business, jumping 65 points in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index in the last 4 years. The PM has set a target of breaking into the top 50 club in the next couple of years. India is seen as the next growth frontier and is expected to power global economic growth in the next decade. With its large population, vibrant democracy and stable environment, the Indian market is ripe for growth. Our low per capita income is indeed our greatest challenge and our opportunity as we look at the future. Rapid growth is essential to pull our masses out of poverty. While we have been able to move from the 3% so-called Hindu rate of growth of the 20th century, the current stable 7% is actually not enough. We are currently over $2 trillion economy and are expecting to breach the $5 trillion economy mark in 10 years by 2028 or thereabouts. The need of the hour is to work on a strategy to fast-track this growth and achieve the $5 trillion mark by 2025 or around that period. This needs us to aim for a 9 to 10% growth as against our current 7%. The road to 5 trillion is not going to be easy in spite of the beginning that we have made in solving the NPA mess. Thanks to the joint efforts of the government and the RBI, the banking system still carries deep stress. Looking ahead, the highly volatile crude oil prices and rising trade deficit are big challenges before us. India is also entering election season. The largest elections in the world, the Indian Lok Sabha election, is around the corner. While all eyes are on the parties, the real person who has the most at stake is the Indian citizen who cannot afford to lose any more time. Continued reforms, fast-track infrastructure development as it is happening now, and a trajectory of basic lifestyle improvement are going to be critical factors deciding the results and outcome. How much of inflation control is too much? What ails our farmers? And lastly, where are the jobs? The 5-state election results yesterday throws up a huge amount of data and insights. I mean, that's how we look at it when we have results in our TRP results. What are the data and insights that these results throw up to fine-tune the Lok Sabha strategy? The new manifestos must reflect the need for inclusive growth higher than the present accepted normal of 7%. India Economic Conclave has over the years established itself as the go-to platform for policymakers, top CEOs of India Incorporated, and thought leaders from across the world. Over the next 2 days, I am sure disruptive ideas from this summit will provide key players the impetus, inspiration, and resolve to fast-track India's entry into the elite club of $5 trillion economies. I once again thank Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and other distinguished guests, and indeed each one of you here for taking out your time to attend this event, which will provide valuable insights and inputs to citizens, leaders, policymakers, and CEOs. Thank you.